Hey guys, I'm just gonna take this off. I'm so tired of that glare. Okay, so this will probably go up maybe Tuesday, maybe tonight on Monday, which I already put a video up, which was from Friday actually. And one, I just wanted to talk to y'all about something that I realized later. I opened my bag of snap peas that Friday once I was with Samantha, and to find out that they weren't snap peas. I pulled one out and it was a green bean, and you can clearly see that on the bag as I show it to you and go, oh, snap peas. And yeah, so I felt like a complete, like, I just felt like an a-hole, honestly, as I'm like, oh, I haven't had these in forever. And clearly I've never had them because I've never had dried green beans. I've only had snap peas. And they weren't snap peas, but they were actually half decent. Some of them were kind of wood chippy, like it was hard to chew, and others were really good. Anyway, so that was my little tidbit. I feel like there was something else in that video I felt like I needed to explain. My camera was fine, for one, after it slid across my dashboard and like fell to the ground. But, so today I wanted to talk to you all about The Walking Dead. Now, if you have never seen The Walking Dead and you don't want to know spoilers, stop watching this video. If you haven't seen the new episode or new season, or you're clearly not caught up to date, stop watching this episode. This is about the season finale, and obviously I'll probably mention some stuff that is in previous seasons or whatnot. So basically, if you're caught up, watch this video and you like The Walking Dead, or just don't know how to process what happened this week, come watch. But if not, I already gave you the spoiler warning, so don't blame me. So this week's episode, I've been, oh, and also I'm gonna do some comic spoilers because obviously with what's going on right now, they've brought in some topics that were from the comics, and if you don't want to hear spoilers about the comics either, then you probably shouldn't watch either. So spoiler alert. So I've been freaking out all season because I found out I had gotten spoiled for me how Glenn dies in the comics. And I knew it was coming this season potentially. But because of this season, they did that whole Glenn fake out death, which the scene was like so well done, but I was just so obviously pissed because if you know anything about me, Glenn is my favorite character and I love him so much since season 1. So I was already coming to terms with it, but then they did the fake out and we were like, it has to be fake, it has to be fake, it has to be fake, and it was. Surprise, surprise. But then when that happened, we all were like, they can't kill off Glenn now. That's so dumb. That would be bad writing. But I've still been freaking out. But me and the twins have theorized that it's Daryl that's gonna die. And I love Daryl, I do, but as in the words of me and the twins, Daryl's got to go. He got to go. And I love him, but he's gotten his story arc and all that stuff. So yeah, so last week, the episode ended. And we were like all anxious, and I've been freaking out, guys, just freaking out. And then with Maggie and her pregnancy not going right now, I've been freaking out about that too, because Glenn and Maggie are my faves. And I love everyone, but I literally, they're my babies, they're my sweet baps. And so this week's episode, we had read some of like the rumored theories that were gonna happen, which came true. It was, the rumor that we had read was Sasha, Abraham, Eugene, Rosita, Aaron, Rick, Carl, Michonne, Glenn, Daryl, and Maggie were gonna be there when Negan came in, and that Negan was gonna basically be like, you have to give me, you're gonna work for me, you're gonna give me half your stuff, but I still have to kill someone, and if anyone tries to stop me, Carl's eye will get cut out, his other eye will get cut out, and yada yada, and then he was gonna do an eeny meeny miny moe kind of thing, and it was gonna be a cliffhanger. And that's what it was. That's exactly how it happened, pretty much. I mean, obviously, the whole build up to this episode was amazing. Them trying to get Maggie, which I had predicted that. I was like, well, their whole mission is gonna be Maggie, them trying to get Maggie to Hilltop. And then somehow they're all gonna come back together for this scene. And the buildup was amazing with the saviors like blocking their paths and them having to like work together and figure out, and Rick and Maggie's talks were great. And even the more Morgan and Carol like talk, which I also predicted that Morgan was gonna have to kill someone to save Carol's life, and it was gonna be his first human kill since he had met with the cheese man. So again, that all stuff, I was like, this is so intense and so awesome. And Gabriel's like, I'm loving Gabriel now. I used to not like him because I was like, boo, you gotta get over this whole thing. It's a zombie apocalypse. But him talking, I'm like, oh, so great. I was like, and then, you know, the scene's coming. And we're all like freaking out when Negan gets introduced, though. Negan, obviously, you were used car salesman, because that whole intro was a little tacky. But it was like, still, it was like, well, it wasn't actually haha, because I was too nervous. But I was nervous. And, you know, Glenn freaks out because and that was also in the theories that he was gonna be like, oh, maybe I should kill her, Maggie. And so I was like, you know, nervous the whole time. Me and Samantha are holding each other's hands, like death grip. And I even, like, I'm holding my mouth because I didn't want to scream, because one, their brother, who is not caught up, was downstairs in the basement, and then their parents were sleeping upstairs, so we were like normally we're in the basement. So we can like kind of make a little noise without like waking everyone up. But so when it went down, because he does the eeny, meeny, miny, moe, at first I was like, aren't we gonna be able to figure out, because you know how you can figure out orders when whoever starts eeny, meeny, miny, moe. But you know, they Walking Dead people, they know what they're doing, so they like edited it so like you can't time out where it's gonna land. So I was like, okay, that's, and I'm kind of, you know, freaking out. And I knew, and it also said in the theories that it was gonna be like when whoever gets killed, it's gonna be in their view, so you won't see who it is. You're just gonna see Negan's back come at them. And that was actually something Samantha had predicted and was right. But I'm not crazy about that. Like that stupid movie that's coming out, I think it's called Hardcore Henry, where it's like a first person shooter. Just, that looks so dumb to me. Like it just looks bad. Like I don't like, one, you don't see your hands like out here all the time. You see your whole body. It was just, So like that they did that, I was like, I know they kind of had to do that, but like, I don't know, it always kind of is a little tacky. And then whoever gets hit, it like, they made it look like blood was like bleeding down, like as if you had blood kind of coming into view from your head, and like, but it was on the screen, and like, that was just tacky to me. But anyway, I was still like, you know, these are my babies, I love them, and so I was still a little like panicky. And then it ended and it went black, and you still hear like noise going on in the background, and it went black, like the screen, and then it ended. And Samantha releases my hand, and I'm feeling the blood come back in my hand. And my first comment after it ended was, oh, my hand's sweaty now. And then I was like, oh, I'm feeling the blood come back in. But then I'm sitting there, and I just realized I'm feeling nothing. I have never had this feeling with Walking Dead. I wanted to feel like how I did when I thought Glenn was dead earlier in the season. How I felt when, like, Herschel died season 3, season 4. Like, I thought this season finale was going to be gut-wrenching. I thought I was gonna like vomit, or like, I knew I wasn't gonna cry per se, but I thought I was gonna be emotionally destroyed. And I just had this lacklusterness about it. It took me a little bit. At first I was like feeling it, and then I was like, wait, why am I even pretending to feel this way? Like, I realized I was pretending after it ended. Like, I was concerned when it was happening. Like, I was into it while it was happening. But afterwards, it was just, I didn't even want to, like, talk about the episode. I was just like, And the twins are, like, trying to get me, because they've been, through Walking Dead, they've admitted that, like, they've hit moments where they've kind of been like, oh, we don't really care. Wait. Okay. Like, oh, we don't really care, like, we could potentially, like, we don't want to stop, but, like, we could potentially stop. I have never had that moment. I've always been fully into Walking Dead. I mean, there have been some episodes, like, after they did the fake out with Glenn, and then they were like, oh, we're gonna have a Morgan-centric episode, we're gonna have a Daryl-centric episode, we're gonna have this centric episode for, like, 3 weeks until we found out what happened to Glenn. Of course, I'm like, I don't care about them. I just want to know my sweet baby is okay. But, like, I still enjoyed those episodes. Like, even the Morgan-centric episode where you learn about what had happened with him and Cheeseman, I thought I wasn't gonna like that, and I actually came out of it was like, I remember I was like talking about it, and I was like, yeah, like all these like cool like tidbits. Like I love to like look at the themes of this show. Like I love this show. This show is my life. It's been my life since I binge watched season 1 right before season 2 came out. Like I have been in love with this show since almost the beginning. And they've never done a cliffhanger as a season finale. They've done it for mid-season finales, but never done it as a season finale. And I feel like, one, I'm already feeling this lack of like emotion towards it, that like I have to wait 6 months. Like I'm like, oh, like, and but I was looking at like people, because I know a lot of people are upset about this episode, and I think some of those people didn't realize it was going to be a cliffhanger. So like I think if I had been completely unaware that it was going to be a cliffhanger and just thought I was going to like meet Negan and potentially someone was going to die, because I know about the comics. I guess some people don't even know about Negan in the comics. Like I know it's been known that Negan was coming, and Chris Hardwick's been saying like, oh, this character's a bad dude. So like maybe people are completely blind, but like I had already known like kind of about Negan, and then I learned more. But I had known last week that this was going to be a cliffhanger because of these like rumored theories. And honestly, it seemed legitimate enough where I was like, yeah, it probably will be a cliffhanger. So the cliffhanger didn't itself upset me. And I can see, though, if you didn't know it was going to be a cliffhanger, I can see why you're upset, especially because they've never done a cliffhanger at a season finale. But that, like, I mean, that, like, I wish kind of, I think it would have been more impactful to see the person, whoever it is, Daryl, I'm hoping. I mean, I love him, but Glenn, I love Glenn. But I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it, guys. But I was reading stuff on Twitter. This is what I was getting at. And some people are like so upset, like saying like, oh, it was a waste of my, like, I wasted a good chunk of my life watching this. What a waste of 90 minutes. I didn't feel that way. I don't think that was a waste of my life. Like, I'm glad I watched it on premiere day, because I'm someone who, I've only missed, I think, 2 episodes since the second episode of season 2, because the first episode of season 2 I didn't get to watch because we didn't have cable that worked with AMC at the time. So technically 3 episodes that I haven't watched on a premiere date, not counting season 1, because I watched season 1 on DVD. But I'm like glad I watched it, and the build-up was so good. It was just anticlimactic. Like I was worried, because when we were like talking about who could die, I was like, well, it has to be a main character, because if it's Aaron or even like Eugene or like Sasha or Rosita, it's not gonna have the impact that it needs to, because we've had these people, we've had the main group of people, Glenn, Carl, Rick, and Daryl, and Carol, but she's obviously not in this scene. We've had those people since season 1. Maggie since season 2, Michonne since season 3, I think, and it all blends together now. So like it had to be main cast, like for it to have any real impact. I get that, but, and I would have felt like if we found out who died, and it was Rosita, or Eugene or Aaron, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm glad it's not my main cast, but like, like, isn't Negan supposed to be the big bad guy? Like, it was supposed to have more impact. And the comics was a big deal because it was the 100th issue, so it really was a big deal when this happened in the comics. But it just didn't, I felt that like sense of being anticlimactic as if we would have found out it was just Rosita, who I love. I don't want her to die either, but Susie Crabgrass. But like, or like Aaron, where it was just like, okay, I've known you, I've grown to like you a lot, but like that, it was just anticlimactic, and that's how I felt. And like, in my theory is it's a 50-50 chance between Glenn and Daryl, honestly, because we know it's not Rick, we know it's not Carl, and I don't think it's gonna be Maggie, and I don't think it's gonna be like Michonne, and again, anyone else would be anticlimactic. So I think it's a 50-50 toss-up between Glenn and Daryl. And I'm leaning more towards Daryl because he's gotten such great story arcs, and Glenn, like, we know less about Glenn than Daryl, and Daryl was the freaking enigma for like 2 seasons. But anyway, or we know less about Glenn's past than Daryl's. But I'm just really upset about this whole, like, how I'm feeling and the lack of feeling. And last night I like was kind of thinking about it before bed, and I'm feeling a little bit more like upset, but I thought it was gonna be so, like, last week's episode, before this past episode, I was freaking out. Like, that's how I wanted to feel. Like, that, like, just gut-wrenching, stomach-churning, like, emotional roller coaster this show has given me season after season after season, and nothing. And this season was so good. Like, this season was amazing. Like, season 5 had a weird, like, flow to it. Season 2, I can see why people kind of consider that boring, but I love the farm. Let's go back to the farm. But yeah, I'm just, and then I felt like on, like, Walking Dead, like, when Herschel died, we had Lauren Cohan on, I think we had Emily Kinney on, we had Herschel on, there was sobbing, there was crying, everyone was like, oh, and, like, Talking Dead, I kind of was like, are you guys feeling how I'm feeling? Because that's what it kind of seems like. And yeah, I felt not alone to know people disliked it, but I didn't hate it. I didn't even really dislike it. There's just, I can't really express. And that's why I'm making this video. I'm trying to, like, express my lack of feeling, and, like, I guess it's a little bit of disappointment. It's a little bit of, like, I don't know, like, I guess mostly lackluster, anticlimactic, like, are the words I'm using, but the setup was so good. And I'm even when I was, like, I was kind of jokingly like, oh, I don't care about Carol Morgan, but I even did care about that storyline. And I don't know, they could have done, I don't know what they could have done. I guess part of it could be they could have not had it be a, like, cliffhanger, but I don't know. They could have not had friggin' blood drip down the camera, because I saw someone made a Twitter post that was like, oh, Negan killed the cameraman. Like, that's what it felt like. Negan killed the cameraman. Like, that stuff works for, like, Cloverfield movies or Paranormal Activity movies, where it's like, we have a camera, but it doesn't work when you build this whole world around this is their world. No one's filming this. It's not supposed to have that, like, being made quality, and then when it does, I just find it, like, it really, like, pulls you. It makes you realize, like, obviously this is just a TV show. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I want to hear what your thoughts. I didn't hate it. I can't say I hate it, because I love Walking Dead so much, and of course I'm gonna watch next season, but I'm sorry, if it's Glenn, I'm peacing out. I was joking with the twins. I was like, if we find out next season it's Glenn, I'm gonna walk out the basement, walk out your house, and not even proceed to drive home, walk home. But no, I will still watch. I love this show. It's my favorite show that is on TV right now. Probably my favorite that's off of TV is X-Files, obviously. But, like, what I watch right now, and I have a lot of shows I love, but Walking Dead is my favorite that is running on TV right now. I love it so much. And so I'm not gonna bail on it, but I wanted, I guess, more or something. I thought I was gonna have all these emotions, and when I didn't, like, and, like, the twins were saying, like, you're always that person that seems to connect in and get those, like, emotions and feel that, and, like, not be able to stop talking about it or thinking about it or anything. And I'm just worried 6 months is gonna be too much time between now and then, and I'm just gonna, like, be like, oh, who are these people? What is this? So yeah, guys, that's my feelings. Again, if you continue to watch this and got the whole thing spoiled for you, honestly, at this point, I'm not sorry. I mean, I kind of am, but I gave you warning. Let me know how you feel about this episode. Again, I'm not sure if this is going up tonight or tomorrow, but let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Talk to me about it. I need some more, like, community here. I need y'all's opinions, because I am just at a loss. I'm at a loss, guys. So help me out, and I can help you out. with any of your feelings and thoughts. And yeah, this is a really long video now. My lack of emotion. I'm not distraught about the episode now. This lack of emotion. So thanks so much, guys. Have a great night. I'm gonna go get dinner soon. And sorry about the semi-crappy lighting. I'm in my kitchen and I couldn't get good lighting anywhere else today. It's just a cloudy, rainy day. So again, thanks so much. Bye, guys.